From the classroom to today, we're reconnecting on the way, sharing stories, dreams, and paths, discovering the impact that lasts. The impact that lasts. The stories unfold, lives transformed, and future.
Welcome to the Impact That Lasts, where I am interviewing former students from many years ago. And today I have the pleasure of introducing you to Shemicka. I have not seen Shemicka ever since I was her high school teacher. And how many years ago was that, Shemicka?
Over 27 years ago.
That was a long time ago. So,
Yes.
what did I teach you? You may not remember the exact course, but was it intro to nursing? Was it nursing? What was it?
I believe it was like nursing you taught us. So yeah. At Hillcrest High School. Yes,
What was
yes,
it
yes.
like being my student?
It was good being your student because, coming from a community which was predominantly African American, it was good to see other women in leadership roles. And you were like one of the African American women that were in leadership roles that was teaching us. So it was good to see that. And you always came in prepared. You were dressed professional every time, and you kind of taught us that. You taught us to implement that in our own style, that we should be ready, we should be prepared every time we stepped our foot in the classroom.
Okay, that's good. And did that stay with you throughout your nursing career?
Exactly. It did. It surely did. All the way through college and everything. So when I got to college, it was like, wow, why is she so always prepared and coming professional like that? I'm like, this is what we learned, this is how we were brought up, in our nursing schooling in high school. So we were always taught to be ready, be prepared, be professional at all times. So
Nice, nice.
mhm.
So after high school, you passed your LPN on your first attempt?
My LPN, no, I did not pass my NCLEX on my first attempt. I kind of like when I graduated high school, my grandmother had passed away. So I had some family, crises going on. My mom had moved to Louisiana. I had transitioned. I stayed in the eastern area because my dad lived in the Pocono area. So there was a lot of transition going on. I was working and everything. So I didn't really study as much for the NCLEX, but when I took it, the first time I was like, okay, I failed it. The second time around, I was like, all right, I'm going to take this serious. I'm going to sit down and study for this test. And then I retook it right away and I kind of passed. So.
Okay, that's good to know because sometimes when people are not successful, they feel like it's the end of the earth, the world. And by the time
Oh,
you finish with all your credentials, you'll be ready to tell people there is hope. So then
yeah,
fast
yeah,
forward,
yeah.
tell me about your RN and everything else that you've been doing.
So after my high school degree, we had the magnet and everything, graduated with that, graduated honors and all that. What I did was I moved to the Pocono area. I went to an associate's degree program called Northampton Community College. And through that program, I was able to obtain my RN within 2 years because I already had the LPN. After that, I went on to pursue my undergrad for my BSN. And I probably did like a year and a half of that because I already had the associate's degree. So I finished that. In the meantime, I did get married. My husband, we got married, both nurses. We met in college as well. And we had our first daughter. And then by our second daughter, I was finishing up my undergrad. So when I graduated with my BSN, I have my second daughter. I kind of stayed home a little bit, maybe like 2 years or so, and then kind of waited for him to finish up his master's program because he was going for his MP. So once he finished, then I pursued my MP. But prior to me pursuing my MP, I found out I was pregnant, right? So
This
it
was
was like,
baby
oh
number three.
gosh, that
Baby
was
number
baby
three.
number three and final baby. Yeah, that was baby number three. And that was, I was applying to DeSales University. At the time, we knew the director of nursing, Dr. Carol Mess. And she was like, don't worry. I already got accepted. She said, don't worry, have the baby, recover, be at home with the baby and see us in the fall. So she was able to hold my position in that nursing program. You know how rigorous it is. And, there's a waiting, but she was able to hold the position for me. So from there, excuse me, I started the program and I finished it in 2013, my master's.
Right.
And yes, with my FNP, my Family Nurse Practitioner. So both me and my husband were like the first couple to go through their program and finish their
Right.
Family Nurse Practitioner. So that was really good. And it was like historic. They even featured us on their billboards for advertisement for DeSales University locally in Pennsylvania. And then also for Northampton Community College. My husband got featured on that as well. So it was really good. It was really
Nice.
nice.
So
Yeah,
to
yeah.
your children now, how old are your two oldest and what are they
So
doing?
so my oldest daughter, she is 21 years old. She's going into her senior year of college. Exciting. She
Ah, what is
attends,
she
yeah,
studying?
she's studying biology. She's looking to go into either nurse anesthetist or continue on to be her NP. Initially, she originally was going to do, she was going to become a doctor, but she realized she didn't want to do that many years of schooling. So I said, okay, if you transition to NP, anything within healthcare, we're good with that. So, we're supporting her there. And then my second daughter, who graduated last year from high school, is going into her sophomore year. She attends St. Lawrence University in northern New York. So it's like 20 minutes from Canada. But she's up
Oh,
there.
wow.
She's yeah, yeah. She's studying biology as well. She wants to be a surgeon. So I don't
Oh,
know. We'll
wow.
see.
So health
Yeah.
all the way. So let me guess, the little one is pursuing health also?
Well, yeah, we're trying to push him in that way as well to try to do something within health. He's thinking more physical therapy, but we'll see, or sports medicine. So we'll see what
And
happens
how
with
old is
that.
he?
He's 16.
Okay, so he's still in high school.
He's still in high school. He had an opportunity this past week to attend the National Student Leadership Conference at Duke University. So he did like a year of the medicine health track, just to get him more exposure. So they took him to the hospital. They did some simulations, some dissections, like with pig feet and stuff like that. So he got a little exposure this summer. So it's good.
Nice. So you got your NP, your husband got your NP, and then you guys started a business. The only reason I know that is because you recently sent me the flyer. So tell
Yeah.
me about the business and what inspired you and your husband to go into entrepreneurship.
Well, as I was telling you, when I moved to Maryland, I was working at a clinic, which was a federally qualified healthcare facility. We were servicing the underserved population. And the name of that company is Chase Braxton. So we worked through the pandemic and everything, and there had been a survey that had came out, and we had already kind of like started this mobile practice, being inspired from attending the National Association of Nurse Practitioner Conference. We seen other nurse practitioners do it, and we were really, motivated to kind of start our own business. But what solidified the decision was when I got a survey monkey during my work at the clinic asking me how would I feel about going into the patient's home and treating them where they're at. And I said to myself, I'm already doing this on the side. I said, no, this is the time for me to try to, break away and do my own thing now, because I'm not going to give you the ideas of what I'm already doing. So then at that time, I resigned from that job and I just went full time in 2021 with the mobile practice. And our motto is, we bring care to your doorstep. We see a lot of patients within the Baltimore area who are underserved, but we also see our assisted living patients, which are geriatric patients. And as you know, they're not able to get out to the doctor's office, or it's really hard for the family member to get them out because maybe they're in a wheelchair or so, and they have to walk far and they have to have a wheelchair to get in and out. And it becomes really kind of difficult to do that all the time. But we come in as the providers for that, like maybe specific house, and we service the residents in that house. And they can be anywhere from like sometimes 3 to like 10, 7 patients at a house at a time. We even have a house that goes up to like 26, 46 patients.
Well, let me
So
ask
it
you a
varies.
question. Is this an exclusive, or are there several mobile units in your area, or is no one really doing this but you and your husband?
Right now, we do have other I guess independent practitioners doing the mobile practice. say we have a psych specialist that goes in and they also care for the patient, but focus more on the psych care of that patient, because a lot of the elderly population has dementia. So they do need monitoring, they do need medication management. So we do have independent providers there. We also have an independent provider. We collaborate with a dermatologist that goes in. So say if we have wounds or so, or skin issue, they can go in and do a biopsy and be able to refer or so if they need to, or diagnose. For those patients who do have the wounds, we have a wound care nurse practitioner that goes out and she'll do, her specialty. If she has to debride a wound or so, she'll do that. If she has to do a graft or so in a patient's wound, she'll do that as well. So we have like an interdisciplinary team.
Because so many patients don't have the access to transportation. So by you being mobile, I love that model and I would like to see it in other places. I don't think I've heard about it too much. I'm physically in the Georgia area. I don't think I've really heard of mobile units anywhere near my area. So I think it's a model that certainly could be duplicated, and that's great. So are you like Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, or are you flexible?
Well, we primarily see our patients Monday through Friday. We do have like a nurse that may go out to do some visits for us, and she'll report back to us and tell us what she's seeing, what's the assessment is of the patient, and then we can kind of like coordinate on care when she does go out. We have 2 new MPs that we just hired and are onboarding right now that we're going to train and have them go out for us as well, now that we are actually growing. But up until now, 2021 to 2026, it's just have been me and my husband running the business.
So do you have like a mobile bus or mobile unit, or you're driving your cars?
No, we're driving our cars. So the nice thing about it is that if you think about being a provider, nurse practitioner, when you go inside a room, when you go into that exam room, what do you need? You need here. Right? The knowledge is here. The knowledge is also on your computer. You have your stethoscope to do your assessment. You are your own craft, right? If you think of it that way. So that's how we kind of approach it. And when we see our patients, we can see them at the dining room table if we need to. If they're in a facility, we can take them into their room. If they need to lay down on the bed, we can further assess there. But yeah, we can see you at the dining room table if we need to, and we'll do that assessment.
The patient where they're at, which is
meet the patient where they're at.
Yeah. That's marvelous.
Yes.
So that seems like it's very rewarding. But what is it like working with your husband all the time?
Well, I've been working with my husband since I was at RN. So that's many years now,
So before before the entrepreneurship, you guys went to school together, worked together, everything together. Wow.
Everything together. He's my BFF though. Sometimes, he gets up under, but then we kind of like, I don't know, we kind of like feed off each other. We love what we do. So we'll throw different cases off each other and try to, we'll we'll walk it through to see what we would do differently or what we think about a case. So I love that about my husband. I can be able to talk about my work and still enjoy
I love that. You have like the perfect story. I love that. So if you were to go back and talk to your 17-year-old self, what would you say to yourself?
I would say to myself, continue to strive for your goal. Because when I was talking to my cousin the other day, and he kind of brought back my memory when I was a little girl. I used to have a little doctor's case, and inside the case was a stethoscope and a needle. The fake needle that had the little yellow medicine in there.
Exactly what you mean.
Yes. So he used to tell me, I used to go around to my grandfather, my grandmother, and him and my cousins, and I would act like I'm taking care of them. Like I was
giving everybody a needle.
Everybody a needle. But he said the nice thing about it is that nobody ever told me to put that down. You're not going to become a doctor. You're not going to become a healthcare. They just let my passion flourish, So it kind of like stayed with me. And I remember when I was in kindergarten, there was something about career, which he wanted to be. And I wrote down that I wanted to be a nurse. And I drew a picture of a patient laying on an exam table. So it was ingrained very early for me. Very early. I see my grandmother. I used to go to the doctor's office with her, with her blood pressure and stuff like that. So I see my grandmother's health kind of fail over time. And I was like, well, I want to make sure that I be able to learn more about the body, be able to take care of patients as well. So, yeah.
So what do you think was your greatest hurdle? I know you said you left high school at 17. Now you're
Mhm.
45. You got your
Right,
master's, you got your FNP, you've been married, you have 3 children. Your children are successful. Two and a
yeah,
half of them are going into the medical field. What
right.
would you say would have been one of your greatest obstacles and how did you overcome?
hmm Um, I would say my greatest obstacle was actually going back for my master's and having my son, my last son, being a mom of three. That
Mm.
was my greatest obstacle, I think. But I was able to overcome it with a village. I had people to help me with my kids. At the time, I was very fortunate, a great neighbor that was able to watch them. But I think that was my greatest challenge, when I was going back to school and I had my little ones.
I
So.
think that's important because being
Mhm.
an educator, I meet women all the time, and a lot of them they feel like I can't do this because I have a baby. Baby doesn't stop the show,
No, 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 no.
and you have proof of
No.
that, right?
Yes, yes, yes. And I also had it in my mind that I wanted to be able to you have something special for my family. I wanted them to have a better life than maybe what I was brought up in. So I know I had to be good. I need to be successful so that they can be successful. So that was always kind of like ingrained in me. And my grandmother always told me, if you get your education, no one can ever take your education away from you. So that always stayed with me. So, that's kind of like my motivation too,
Sure,
Now
she's
I tell my
proud.
kids, oh yeah, 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 yeah. I miss her so much. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. It hurts when grandma dies. Mine died at
Mhm.
30. How old were you when your grandma passed?
Ooh, I was right out of high school, like May of my
Pretty
high school year.
young. Oh, you
Young.
were still in your teens. Yeah, I was
hmm
30, so I counted a privilege. But a lot of things that she taught me still resonates with me. And I didn't
Yeah.
even know she was teaching me, but she was.
Yes. 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 Yeah.
What do
She.
you
Yeah. She was a rock. She was my rock. She
what
still
do you
is.
hope your legacy will be?
What I hope my legacy will be, I hope that, my kids and my grandkids will look back and see, what I paved the way for them for, like in the future. It's gonna bring me to tears because I didn't have that, you
Hmm.
know? So what I'm doing now is not for me. It's for a legacy that I want to leave behind to let them know that, things are possible if you put your heart to it. Yes.
Oh, that's so heartfelt. You're gonna bring tears to my eyes, and we both gonna be crying. But that's
It's
so
kind of like,
heartfelt, and I can't believe that I
yeah,
really have not seen you ever since high school, and
you
this
no, you haven't.
never
But I
seen you
heard
again.
Mrs. Gum is around. Miss Gum's around. You see, Courtney is my good friend. Courtney's one of my best friends. You remember
Like
Courtney Fields?
Courtney Fields, I was just gonna say Fields because I know the last
Yeah, her
name.
her
How
last
is
name
she
is
doing?
she's Harris. She's down in Atlanta. Her and her husband and her family. She's
And
doing
I'm
really
from Georgia
good.
too.
She's in
Okay.
Georgia. Yeah, yeah, around that
You
area.
gotta tell her to reach out to me. I definitely remember
I'll tell her. Yeah,
Courtney.
I'll
I
definitely tell
definitely
her.
remember her.
But I don't think she's in healthcare anymore. But she also pushed me that she's like, Shemicka, just go for your NP. Like straight out of high school, she told me, Shemicka, just go for your NP. Go for your NP. And I was like, all right, let
Nice.
me just start this out too.
It is
So
so
yeah.
nice to see you after all these
Yeah.
years and to see the woman that you have blossomed into and you're making
Oh.
such an impact on healthcare, meeting people
Mm-hmm.
where they need to be, which is not in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now you're expanding your business, which is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. How can someone that lives in your area that needs care get in touch with you? Would it be the information on the flyer that I'm definitely going to post?
Well, usually a lot of it is word of mouth, but we are available via telephone, a call away, 410-552-8885 if you're in the Maryland, Baltimore area. Or they always can go online and do a search if they're in the Baltimore, Maryland area at mpmobilehealth.com. And then they can request an appointment online as well. So those are some ways that they can reach out to us.
I know you said you're hiring new staff. Are you guys getting booked up and overwhelmed, or you just felt like you want to expand before it happens because you see it happening?
No, we're scaling up now because we are getting more homes under our belt. So, and we also, we'll go on vacation, or so we want coverage when that does happen. So we're definitely scaling up at this point. So, yeah.
Nice. I'm so
Hmm.
happy for you.
Thank
Congratulations. I
you.
never met
Thank
your
you.
husband, but I say
Yes.
congratulations to your husband as well. That this is a great story of entrepreneurship, because we don't
Mhm.
have to stay anywhere we don't want to be. We could always be
No.
our own boss.
Yes.
So
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
love to
yes. So,
see
but
it.
I'm so happy that you were able to do the an interview with me, and I was able to see you and talk to you. And that's the beauty about our technology that we have today. Imagine if we didn't have that social media where we'd be able to connect with people. You'll just be stuck wondering, I wonder how this person turned out. I wonder if this one, is still around. So that's the beauty of social media. So that's a positive thing. So I'm glad that we were
Really
able to
been
connect.
positive for me, because when I look back and my students are telling me, "Oh, you were my teacher 27 years ago and my daughter is 21." And I'm like, "Well, how old am I?"
You still look like you haven't aged. You still look great.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm
You
trying,
still
I'm
look great.
trying, I'm trying to,
Hmm.
eat healthy and keep my mind, my body, and my soul healthy, and
Same. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
think positive thoughts, positive energy only. And I
Yes.
think that helps as well. Positive
Okay. Very
thinking.
good. Very good. So if you ever need us to come out and do anything, if you're doing your school or whatever, you want us to speak, we're open to come in and speak to the students as well for you.
You're gonna come from Baltimore to New York or Georgia or wherever I need you to come?
Are you in New York? If you're in the New York area,
Teaching, I,
definitely.
I still teach sometimes in New York. So you'll come to New
Okay.
York, but you're not coming to Georgia.
Georgia, we can come to Georgia too. Just let us know in advance, because New York is a hop, skip, and a jump away. I can just drive 4 hours. I'll be there. You understand? But I'll have to plan
Understood.
a trip to
Understood.
Atlanta ahead of
Understood.
time, for that. But yeah, we're
Understood.
open to doing that.
Nice. So is there
Mhm.
anything that you would like to share as we close? It was so great talking to you. Any final
Oh,
thoughts or words of inspiration that you would like to give to a young person, or anything on your heart or mind?
um, I would say, be the best you can be. Don't let anybody ever tell you no all the time either. Don't listen to the naysayers. Strive to be the best you can be. Okay?
Thank you. Well, teaching was
Yes.
never just about the classroom. It was about
Hmm.
planting seeds and watching those seeds grow into successful adults. And you are one of those seeds.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for watching The Impact That Lasts. And Shemicka, I wish you much continued success with all of your
Oh, thank you so
desires
much.
and aspirations.
And last, the impact